Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network in conjunction with Clear Production Sports. As you know, today is a special day. It is Friday Eve. You know what? People tomorrow at work, they're going to be standing around the water cooler, and they're going to be talking about a little thing that happens the night before, and they call it the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah. First and foremost, I am the Midnight Rider. That is the Gentleman Jack Carr. That is the big guy KG. We just lost the boss man BJ, and our special guest, the man that helped me get this started or start this whole podcasting world, Lee Ice of All In Sports, All In Football, anything with the All In brand. What's up, my man?
Fellas, what is up? It is my pleasure. I am finally joined you all. I couldn't wait. Been waiting for this all day.
KG.
As you can hear by the bell, we got a little throwdown on Thursday night. Now, fellas, Lee Ice and myself had a discussion online about Steph Curry's place in the all-time list of point guards.
Can I do this? Can I do this?
Go ahead.
You're the show's host. Let somebody else bring this in. This is an epic duel. This is a debate.
Ding. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the privilege to bring to you a debate on great point guards. Who's number two? In the tan corner, wearing a brown shirt with the letters LEE across the front. The man with the plan, the man that's twice as nice. They call him Lee Ice, and his opponent, hailing from the dark side.
All the way from South Bend, Indiana.
All the way from South Bend, Indiana. They call him the fly guy. They call him the big guy. It's the big guy, KG. We got one round, 10-minute time limit. You fellas, go at it.
Hold on. Buddy.
You can't. You got.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Go ahead, hit your bell.
Bring it, baby. Bring it.
Ding, ding.
Lee Ice.
Yes, sir.
You said that Steph Curry has leapfrogged so many players to become number one and number two on your list.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, let's get something straight first. We can say Magic Johnson's number one.
For now.
Okay.
He's hanging on to it right now.
Oh, no.
He's hanging on.
Okay. Magic Johnson's number one. Magic Johnson's number one on my list. Now, number two is where the argument starts.
Mm-hmm.
I have quite possibly the purest point guard, the epitome of what a point guard should be in John Houston Stockton at number two. But Lee Ice think he's lost product. And he's putting Steph Curry over him. And
I'm putting a couple more people over him, but go ahead.
I don't understand how. Because look at John Stockton's resume. Most assists in a season, NBA record. Most assists in a career, NBA record. Highest assist average in a season, NBA record. These are records. Those are three records that nobody's going to touch. Because the game has evolved. It's not played like that anymore. Those are three records nobody's going to touch. And when I say epitome of a point guard, if you go look up point guard, there's John Stockton picture right next to the definition. Because what did he do? He controlled the offense. He distributed, but he could also score. He's a Hall of Famer 2 times over, gold medal winner. And pretty much, even though he looked like he was milquetoast, probably one of the roughest point guards you'd ever deal with. Putting him at number 2 is the only place that he can be. That's why my background, he's holding up the number 2 because that's where he belongs. Second greatest point guard of all time.
Well, with all due respect to the great John Stockton, and he's holding up number 2, I just hope it's not the other number 2 that he might be. But so let's talk about who you want. Like I said, I can put a lot of point guards in front of him. Let's go around the panel. Just raise your hands if you believe this. A point guard's job is to lead, right or wrong. Hands? To lead, right? What's more ultimate than to lead your team to championships? Isn't that the ultimate? I mean, we don't play just to play. Hello? Like, my man, you play to win the game. You play to win championships. And that's something that John Stockton never did. It's not like he didn't have a chance. He had 2 tries. Failed. Okay? He failed. Unlike my man Steph, yeah, he failed twice. But like Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and Tully Blanchard, he got 4. Do like that, that's John Stockton. How in the world can you put a man, with all due respect to John Stockton, got all the records, sister records, and all that stuff is cute. It's real cute. But he doesn't have the main thing, the ring. Okay? Not one. He went there twice. We got in a little to it about you putting him over Isaiah. How can you put him over Isaiah Thomas when that man went to 3, 1, 2, got robbed of 1, and here's the caveat. Guess who he beat to get there, to win those 2? A man that John Stockton, your boy, could not beat. Tried it twice, lost twice. I think Isaiah beat him, at least 3 times, maybe 4. So he beat Jordan to get to the championships. We all know he got robbed in the first one in '88. Put on one of the greatest finals performances ever. Then he won in '89 and '90. Okay, so not only do I put my man Steph there at number 2, I'm putting Isaiah 3rd. You want to question, is Steph a point guard? He's labeled as a point guard, right or wrong? Right?
Right, but so was Iverson. Iverson was labeled as a point guard too.
Okay.
So is Iverson a point guard?
Like I asked you, is there some type of book that says this is how a point guard should play?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
The point guard is to lead your team to victory, right? I don't care how you do it, just lead them to the victory. Lead them, right? Right or wrong?
You got to lead the victory. But in that thinking, that means Jerry West is way lower than everybody else because Jerry West got there 8 times and only won 1. He's 1-7.
Let me ask you this. So we put Magic number 1, right?
Always.
We all put Magic number 1, right? So you're trying to tell me with him winning 5 rings don't have nothing to do with him being number 1?
If you consider rings as a criteria to put people in the top 5, top 3, or whatever, then it's a lot of players that's going to be over other players. Robert Horry is going to be over Tim Duncan because Robert Horry got 7. Tim Duncan only got 5.
Does Robert Horry have the stats that Tim Duncan had?
That's all I'm talking
about. Come on, man. No, we can't. Don't go there. We all talking about being the main person or one of the main. So if Magic Johnson did not have 5 rings, did not get to the finals, if Magic Johnson did not have 5 rings, did not get to the finals 9 times, he would still be number 1? Is this what you're telling me?
Because he is probably the revolutionizing of a point forward. As a point guard, 6'9", could handle the ball and run the break the way he could. You don't see that. That's something that'll never, ever be duplicated again.
Really? So you're trying to tell me we're going to see another Steph Curry? We've seen Steph Curry before?
You're going to see another Steph Curry. But you'll see another Steph Curry before you ever see another John Stockton.
You really think that?
I know that because that's the way everybody's playing now. Everybody wants to do the look away threes. They want to shoot. Nope.
We've seen John Stockton. We've seen John Stockton. His name was Bob Cousy. We've seen John Stockton. Them days are gone. Them days are gone, bro.
What? 10 and what? In the finals? With only the right hand?
Bob Cousy. Okay? That's John Stockton. Like I said, with all due respect to John Stockton, I mean, how do you put him over Oscar Robertson? How do you put him over Oscar? You putting a man who didn't. Can I cuss on here?
Of course you can. Of course.
You putting a man who didn't win shit over people who have won championships, okay? And was the main reason why they won the championship. John Stockton wasn't even the best player on his team. We're talking point guards who were the best player on their team. Right or wrong?
I'm going to say, yeah, true indeed. But I'm going to say this. If we were talking 5-6 years ago, there's not a soul that wouldn't have said John Stockton was number 2. Now, here we are in this new age, and you got people talking about the 90s, and they not that good and all that, but we're not going to get into that. But now everybody's revising their list. After John Stockton has been the number 2 all-time point guard for the longest, now all of a sudden he lost product. This is what we doing here?
When was he number 2? I don't remember him being number 2. I don't remember John Stockton being the second greatest point. Do you, BC?
Let me ask this question, because I think we can get the panel involved in this. Let's just list your 5 point guards, because now we can get us a consensus or a basis of where everybody stands.
Okay.
So yeah, go
my
ahead.
Top three, Magic, Steph, and that's debatable if Steph gets another ring, and Isaiah. Okay. After that, I'm going Oscar Robertson. And honestly, I mean, I think Jason Kidd is a top 5 point guard of all time.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
I think that's my top 5 right there.
KG?
Top 5, Magic 1, Stockton 2, Zeke 3, Oscar Robertson 4, Kidd 5.
Whew. He don't even put
Jack Carr. I need you to give me your top 5 point guards.
Magic, Stockton, Archibald, Robinson, Kidd.
Boss man.
Magic, of course. Stockton, Zeke.
You got Stockton too?
Yeah. I got Stockton too. Magic, Stockton, Zeke, Robertson. I'll put Kidd in there.
But look here. Let me add one. In my mind, I don't consider Curry a point guard.
That's my whole point.
He's a shooting guard. When does he bring the ball up court, call plays, and kick out assists? That's what a point guard does.
The man averages over his career, he averaged 6 assists, okay? 6.4 assists. In the beginning, okay, Stockton averaged 10. Okay, it's 4 more, but in the beginning he was averaging 8, 7 to 8. Okay, so you don't You just don't average 6 to 8 to 10 assists not being a point guard. Okay. There's been games, especially in that championship season, where he had to defer. Okay. He was definitely running point. All right. I mean, what are y'all not watching? We're all smart here. The man has always been a point. Did you not see him at Dayton?
Yeah,
just because he's a scorer too, you can't say he wasn't a point guard. Oscar Robertson was a scoring point guard, right?
So was Jerry
Westbrook is a scoring point guard. James Harden is that's today's point guards.
But here's the thing. That's like calling Iverson a point guard. Iverson was a point guard when he was at G-Town. He was a point guard his early years with the Sixers. He was not a point guard. Iverson was more of a combo. He was more of a not on the same level, but he was more of a Juan Dixon where he could handle the ball, but it was better when he was off the ball because he could score more.
I think Eric Snow was the point guard in that situation.
Well,
he ended up being the two.
That had to be the thing. Eric Snow and Aaron McKee had to be the point guard because Iverson moved over to the two. But Iverson was always listed as a point guard, but he wasn't the point guard.
Can we hit these comments real quick?
And let me ask a question. Nobody got CP3 in the top 10, do they?
Hell no.
Thank you. Lee Ice. Thank you.
For what it's worth, I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to hit the hornet's nest, but I mean, we talking about point guards and facilitators, and what about LeBron James?
Okay, what about Paul Russell?
Isn't he top 5 in assists all time?
But he's still listed as a small forward.
He's listed.
No matter how his role he plays it.
Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that because he's a facilitator. Y'all can't
He's
change
not
it up.
a point guard. Luka is listed as a point guard, right?
Is he?
Right.
I don't
Big
know.
as a small forward though.
He might be. He might be listed as a point guard. I'm not sure.
Timothy Watkins checking in. He said the Celtics champ is here. Also says Curry is not a point guard.
Then what?
And they list Luka as a guard, not a point guard or a shooting guard. They just list Luka as a guard.
So all those people y'all name, besides Magic, is any of them in the damn top fucking 30? Oh well, Oscar Robertson maybe. Steph is he's definitely top 10. Like I said, he gets another ring. How you not put him in the top 5 of all time? The man changed the damn game. Magic revolutionized the game. Steph Curry revolutionized the game. But
all right, come on.
You're gonna, huh?
This is where I have to argue this. I have to argue with this part because yes, the game changed, but the game changed across the board. And if you're gonna give somebody the proper title for changing the game, it's got to be the boys in Phoenix because they made shooting the three a thing. They started the process. He just mastered it.
When you say the boys in Phoenix, who are you talking about?
What's that? Is it that guy?
Nash? You talking about Nash?
Nah, Dan Tony.
Yeah.
They wasn't doing what Steph is doing, man.
But they opened the door. They opened the door for teams taking more than or equal amount of threes and twos. They started that. That was their philosophy.
So I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember this, but if this guy never got on drugs, Michael Ray Richardson was Magic before Magic.
He was
if you want to go there,
that's a name right there.
If y'all really want to go there,
he was only 6'5". He wasn't 6'9", baby.
6'5" is still big for a point guard.
When your point guards are averaging what 6'2", 6'3" at the time, so that's pretty big at 6'5". Big Dog over on Instagram, he said Magic, Isaiah, Oscar Robertson, Earl Monroe, Pete Maravich. Ooh, that's sick.
So I guess it's a consensus that none of y'all consider Steph Curry a point guard.
No.
He's a point guard. I just
think he's a guard.
Nah, he's a point guard. He's just he's like LeBron James, they're hybrid. Like Luka's a hybrid. It's not traditional in the sense like John Stockton was a point guard. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm sure you got LeBron in your top 5 of forwards, small forwards, right?
Yeah.
So how you not have Steph in your top 5 of point guard? You just said they're the same person. And Steph is better than everybody you name except for maybe Magic. And like I said, he's knocking on that door. Because I don't see nobody getting guarded in the history of the game get guarded like Steph. Who gets guarded like that?
So you know what? I'm gonna throw something out there. If y'all don't mind, I think in 5 years or in 10 years, the way the game is played now, these arguments are going to change. And it's going to change because we're going to start talking about, and I think Lee Ice is kind of starting this thought process, at least for me, because now you got to start considering, like, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because we're really not operating under that numerical system anymore. Like, how are we going to have these arguments in, say, 5 years and say 10 years? Are we still going to be the old fogies in the corner talking about you got to bring the ball up and pass it and you got to have 10 assists? Is that going to be us? Or are we going to change with the times?
When you see something that's great, now don't take this the wrong way. When I say Steph is not number 2, I'm not taking away from his greatness. When you see something as great, we were able to watch John Stockton, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. Hell, one of my favorite point guards, Rod Strickland, who gets no love. Him, Mark Jackson, they get those are, when you talk about point guard, those are point guards. Jason Kidd, point guard. I think Steve Nash is overrated in my opinion as a point guard. I think CP3 is overrated in my opinion. That's just me. But you talk about the Stricklands, the Nash, the Johnsons, the Stockton, the Jacksons. We watch these guys ball every night, in and out. When you see greatness like that, it's hard to say, well, let me change my thinking because because you know what a point guard is supposed to look like.
Every time we talk about point guards, somebody got to bring Rod Strickland out their ass. Good gosh.
Hey, get him 2 hot dogs, let him get that hangover, and he gonna give you 35, 17, and 10.
I'm gonna tell you this.
KG, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, my bad. This is my way of thinking. If somebody can come in your house and take over your team and win 2 championships and 2 MVPs, that for me, if you can come in somebody's house and do that, nobody's ever gonna do that on Magic's team. Nobody's ever gonna do that on Zeke's team. Nobody's ever gonna do it on Barkley. Ain't win no damn ring. Nobody's gonna do it on Barkley's team. Nobody's gonna do it on, who am I missing?
Y'all act like Steph went. See, I hate when people say that with the KD shit. Y'all like Steph didn't be like, look, I'm gonna let you do you. My man won before that Bama got there, and he won after the Bama left. And when he was there, he was averaging 28. So that's not like he throwing up 16, 17 a game. Okay.
He was averaging 28 because he was
the one getting double teamed, not Kevin Durant. They was double teaming Steph Curry, not Kevin Durant. So it was very easy for Kevin Durant to score. He found that out when his dumb ass left Golden State. Okay? He thought he was the shit. He really did. He found out, oh yeah, shit really stinks, don't it, Kevin Durant? So don't bring that Bama up, please. But I'm gonna get back to what KG said. We know what a point guard looks like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring my man Ryan Clark up. When he talked about Lamar Jackson, and some people is Lamar Jackson a true quarterback, KG?
Yes. One thing, Lamar Jackson gets nothing but love here. We watched him be a pocket passer. We watched him be a mobile quarterback, but when it came down to being a pocket passer at Louisville, we watched him do it. You didn't watch Steph be a point guard at Dayton? He's not a point guard now. He's really who's the primary ball handler in that Warriors offense? Draymond Green.
So why does Steph lead the team in assists every year?
Because Draymond Green is also a turnover machine.
No, I didn't say turn. I'm saying the assists. He leads the team in assists.
No, Draymond Green is a turnover machine. So Steph's going to get the assists, but he's not the primary ball handler. They don't run the offense. He doesn't bring the ball up and facilitate the offense. He has to go get to his spot. He got to go get to his landmark.
There's been plenty of games. Check the last time they won a championship where Steph was running the point. Okay. Plenty of games throughout the years. Okay. You don't average 6 to 8 assists if you're not running the point. Okay. You just don't. I mean, unless you're Larry Bird, So let me ask you this. Nikola Jokic, is he a true center in your eyes?
I don't really think there are any true centers anymore in the league because everybody's just big. They just stretch fulls.
So because they do it differently, that makes them not true.
When you say true center is somebody that can go on the block as well as shoot, 15,
Why can't a true center go out on the key and distribute it and shoot the three? Why can't a true center do it? Are we conditioned and brainwashed to think that's nothing but centers are supposed to do?
I grew up with centers having jump shots. David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Keem Olajuwon. They all had jump shots, but they didn't shoot threes.
So the center, in your eyes, positions can't evolve. They got to stay the same. They got to stay traditional for you in order for them to be true.
That's the true epitome of the position. Now, are they listed as Joel Embiid is just a stretch full. He's not a center. Can he take you down the block and put you in the work? Yeah, he can put you on the spin cycle on the block. Does he do it? Part of the time, no. 40% of the time he lands on his back on the floor. The other 40% he's standing around the perimeter.
I understand what you're saying, and trust me, but it took Ryan Clark's assessment of Lamar Jackson for me to understand. Just because they do it differently doesn't make them, not true.
And
I was about to say Sabonis. Sabonis wasn't traditional. Sabonis could pass the rock early. He put the ball on the floor and he could shoot. So
Ewing could put the ball on the floor and shoot, but
he's a center.
Sabonis still had a back to the basket game.
That's what I'm saying. He's a center, but he built a different version of the game. He's still a center though.
Yeah, he was him.
That's why I said earlier, we're going to have to start changing the definitions because the game is changing.
Right.
And our top fives are going to be different. And maybe you put it in the spot where it's a hybrid. It's a guy that's a cross between a couple positions. But I will give Lee Ice credit because Curry wasn't on my radar. He at least is on my radar now as considering him a point guard. Haven't gotten him to rank him yet, but I can see the argument for that. Let's hit the comments, guys.
All right. Tim says Zeke had to beat 23 Magic and Boston. Well, no, he had to beat 23 Magic and Boston.
Right.
How many assists does Curry have? Curry has total assists. He's 39th. 6,119 at 6.4 per game. Scooter. John Stockton was a physical man, just like the rest of the Jazz. The team could have had beat the Isaiah Pistons. Could have. And now I've seen stories about John Stockton, and I forget who it was. Old boy said he threw a pass past his head, and it went out of bounds. He looked around thinking somebody was cutting, and John Stockton walked up to him and told him, "Back the fuck up." And I was like, "Ooh, ooh."
That was Earl Watson.
Okay, Earl Watson. 6 assists rank him 2. That's what Timothy Watkins said. JoJo said we doing that. No, sir. Big Dog says when Steph had the chance to prove himself as a great point guard, he blew it. He blew his games and blew it in games 5 and 6 in Toronto. And she said we're not doing that. Xavier checking in. He said my top 5 is Magic, Luka, Stockton, Rose, and Isaiah Thomas. Get off the game and go to bed.
No. That's good because
that's
he's a whole different age bracket. So that's what I'm saying, and that's what the Midnight Rider saying. He's a whole different age bracket.
I
so
did not raise him.
I know, but he's watching. Way. He didn't watch your NBA. He's watching today's NBA.
But I understand the Rose thing with him because Derrick Rose is one of my favorite players. So when he was 1-2 years old, all he heard me talk about was Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is Derrick Rose. That D Rose gonna do this for us. So I understand that's a love of Derrick Rose, and I'll give him that. Tim said Bob Cousy has the rings. Jojo said I don't know how y'all not putting CP in the top 3 and the top 10. Wow, because he's overrated.
Very overrated.
Tim said hell no. Jojo says Magic, Steph, Oscar, Jerry, Zeke. Steph number 2. I'm with Lee Ice. Come on, Jojo. You don't do that. Wow, CP3 overrated. Stop it. Well, he is.
He is.
Jack Wagner checking in. Larry Bird and the Celtics were shooting big threes. I guess my Lakers, I hated it in Boston in those years. Yeah. Jojo said, y'all got to stop that. People got hurt on KD teams. Slim, Draymond, KG, stop. Draymond is the primary ball handler.
Come on, man. Come on.
I know where you're getting with that.
Scooter says, love watching the true center Bill Laimbeer bomb threes, hit nothing but the bottom of the net, but it wasn't. Okay. I'll give you Laimbeer as a center. I always consider Laimbeer more of a power forward, but okay, I'll give you that. Jokic can do it, is what Jack said, and he's a true big man. Jokic is I think he's a throwback because he does play on the block. And I don't watch many Denver games. Y'all can fill me in on this. You know, I'm mostly watching Bulls games and crying myself to sleep. But does Jokic shoot a ton of threes?
He shoots enough.
He shoots enough. Hey, KG.
I know Embiid does. Embiid shoots at least 7 to 10 threes a game.
KG, I got a suggestion. I think we got to put a pin in this. And let's get to because we got more stuff. And we already at 30 minutes. We're gonna be like 2 hours.
I apologize. I gotta stand up for my man Steph, man. I said 2015 he changed the game. Now people are starting to come around 10 years later. So
I was about to say you've been saying that for the longest time. So yeah, I'll give you your props on that.
Big Dog said, what about Mo Cheeks?
Nah.
Mo Cheeks is one of the most underrated point guards of all time.
I'll give
Mo
you
Cheeks
that.
was a hell of a point guard.
See, yeah, we gotta go further down the list for that.
This is
top 30.
This is what I mean. Me and Lee Ice, we don't agree on Steph and John Stockton, but there's so many other things that we agree on, and I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I'll fight him. I'll fight him tooth and nail about John Stockton, but everything else.
I don't want you to think that I don't think John Stockton was great. John Stockton was a great point guard. Great point. Let me say it again. A great point guard. But he wasn't better than Steph, and he wasn't better than Zeke, man.
All right,
and you know Zeke was supposed to have been on that Olympic team, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Lee Ice, hold on, guys. We gotta stop.
I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead.
No, we got in the end because again, like I said, we be here for another 2 hours, and we done just did one topic, dog.
Matty Ice said time for a segue. Scooter said Steph Curry loves golf, so he's good to me. And JoJo said Steph changed the game, and the Lahive hates it. So, all right, we'll put a pin in this.
Yep.
We'll revisit it
tonight.
But
make sure when you revisit it, I want to be back on.
Oh, most definitely you will. So we got to do this. Go ahead, get your smoking jacket on, get your glass of bourbon, sit back, light you a stick, because it's time for the gentleman's corner. Jack, take it away.
Hey. Well, that was nice right there. I enjoyed that little argument. Nobody's got to agree with everybody on sports. That's why we have opinions. That's why we sports fans. So I really enjoyed that. I've been looking forward to it all day as well as you, Lee. So what the gentleman has to talk about today is what's going on over there in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The Little League World Series 2024 is in full swing, and we're coming towards championship weekend. 3 spots have already been decided for the championship this weekend. Currently, we got Nevada and Florida playing right now. Last I checked, it was 5-3 Florida, bottom of 3. That's on ESPN for anyone to check it out after our show. I've been following Little League World Series since I was 7 years old, 8 years old. I enjoy it. I look forward to it every August. It's been going on now since August 14th in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, at Lombardy Stadium and Volunteer Stadium. It's the 77th year for the Little League World Series. Right now, U.S. leads 39 championships to the international having 37. Got 20 teams. You got 20 teams participating in this. It's 10 international teams, 10 United States teams. So you got 20 of the best 12-year-old ball players in the country playing here in Williamsport. I'm going to give you a rundown on the teams that were there. From the Great Lakes region in the United States, we had a team from Hillsdale, Illinois, Little League. In the Metro region, we had Staten Island, New York representing. Mid-Atlantic region, we had Newtown Little League from Pennsylvania, the hometown team there in Williamsport. Midwest, we had Sioux Falls Little League from South Dakota. Mountain region, we had Henderson Little League from Henderson, Nevada. New England, we had Salem Little League from Salem, New Hampshire. In the Northwest, we had South Hill Little League from the state of Washington. In the Southeast, we had Lake Mary Little League from Florida. And in the Southwest, we had Bourne Little League from Bourne, Texas. And West, we had Hawaii from the East Maui Little League. And then we got some of the same bombers coming at us from the international leagues. Number one, man, from the Asia Pacific, Chinese Taipei. Everybody that's watched Little League World Series is familiar with Chinese Taipei. They just make ballers over there. I'm surprised there's not more. I meant to look that up, how many Chinese Taipei players have made it in the leagues, but I didn't have time. Australia, we got Sydney Little League representing. Canada, we got British Columbia Little League representing. In the Caribbean, we ended up getting a team from Aruba Little League. In Cuba, we got the Santa Clara Little League. Czech Republic's representing Europe and Africa. Japan has Tokyo Little League, very strong team. Latin America's got Venezuela Little League, another strong team. Mexico Little League came out. Puerto Rico had their Little League out there. Talking about Little Leagues and Major Leagues, there's been some stellar ball players that came through this Little League tournament. Cody Bellinger, you got Midnight Riders boys, Jackson Profar and Jonathan Scope and Michael Conforto. And then you got a little bit of an older head, Todd Frazier, Gary Sheffield. And I just found this out today, and I can't wait till I get up to Camden Yards again and see Boog Powell. Boog Powell played in the Little League World Series. I did not know that. And you know how big a man Boog Powell is. Could you imagine him at 12 years old? He was probably 6'5". So there's been 64 total.
You got that tragedy, the kid Sean Burrows, who was like the number one player the time he went through, got drafted. And I think he unfortunately ended up passing away like a couple weeks ago. So it's been, yeah. He got hooked on something. I don't know what it was, and I don't want to speculate, but there was a substance abuse situation. But he was like the big kid. And Jack, I don't want to step on your time real quick.
No, sir, please.
The one thing I love about the Little League World Series is the names the kids like their favorite players and what they're into. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but one of the 12-year-olds, his favorite actress was Alexis Texas. And if you don't know who she is, she's an adult entertainment star. So that was one of the funniest ones I saw.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I enjoy reading those too. It's just a fun almost 2 weeks, and every August I look forward to it. And it's a good thing that came out of a bad thing for me because, as my junkie guys know, I'm not sure if Lee knows, I've been down for about 3 weeks, man. 30-degree burns on my feet. So, man, what better week to do that? I mean, March Madness might be a little better, but Little League World Series is right there in my wheelhouse, I tell you. So I've been chilling, checking it all out. And now, Major League ball players that have been in this tournament. Back in 2017, they started incorporating the Major League Sunday night game at the tournament. And God, it's amazing. I know the kids love it. I know the parents love it. They built a new stadium for this. It's called Bowman Field. And last Sunday, the New York Yankees came in to play the Detroit Tigers, which was a bunch of cool players, a bunch of the guys' favorite players. What's that boy's name? He's a short. No, he came out, made best friends with a kid. He's gonna take care of the boy.
You talking about Javi Baez?
Oh no, sir.
Not Jazz.
Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm took this boy under his wing. He was his favorite player, the only kid damn near I think the only kid in the whole tournament that named Jazz Chisholm is his favorite player. And Jazz found that boy immediately at the greeting when they got off the plane and just took him under his wing, went, met his family, told his family that if he keeps working on his game, I will cover him all the way, everything he needs.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's amazing. That's the kind of pro ball players I like to hear about, Giving back. That's what I like to do. I live in a great community now. I tried giving back in the community I grew up in. It just didn't work, but now I'm giving back in this community. So I like that about Chisholm. That was awesome.
And if you don't mind, can I interrupt you one more time?
No, I expected you to be in, baseball guy.
So, Jack, I want you personally to talk about your experience because A, you're a coach, and B, you had an experience where you almost got to this tournament. So let's first talk about how you almost got here and you almost played in it, and then talk about your time as a coach.
Yeah, no, I had my dad was the coach, and 11, 12-year-old baseball. We had Mark Carper on the mound, man, best pitcher in the county. He was doing what you see some of these boys doing, throwing a high 70s fastball, which is equivalent to almost 100 miles an hour, MLB stuff. And the weekend before the game, the championship game's on Monday, that could have got us going into regionals to go to Williamsport. And Mark Carper, our star pitcher, went to basketball camp that weekend. So he's basketball camp. He's probably doing 2 or 3 workouts a day, messing around in the pool. And he was a ginger, man. So he showed up sunburnt too. And man, he was bouncing the ball off the plate 3 feet in front of me, man. My dad was hot. He couldn't believe that his father let him exert himself before the biggest game of our young baseball careers. And we ended up losing that game in our travel, our long, great year. I mean, because when you play for this, you start in like June, early June, play upwards of 60 to 90 games. Because some of these tournaments you got to play, you can play 5 games on Saturday and 4 games on Sunday. That's 9 for the beginning of the month. So you can end up playing 40 games in 1 month, possibly. So we ended up dropping that. And as far as the coaching aspect, I coach rec baseball. We're not Little League affiliated or anything. You got to be affiliated Little League. You can't just be a rec program. You got the rec programs that go to Cooperstown for their experience, and then you got the Little League programs that go to Williamsport. So there's other avenues for other kind of clubs to get this, get on bigger stages. But I coach at the rec league, and it's more getting the fundamentals in the kids. Oh, I'd die to have a team as good as half of these, man. God, I don't know what I'd do if I had a team that was that darn good. But these kids, they're some of the best in their area, They make these teams, they draw. It ain't just the team that signed up at the beginning of the year. A lot of them are all-stars and stuff. So, like I say, this is just a big part of me being a young baseball player playing for a baseball dad like my father was. So we had last night, earlier today, Venezuela, strong Venezuela team. When I first started watching this, I thought Venezuela was one of the top teams, and it comes down, they are. And you can't never, like I say, Chinese Taipei has been one of the strongest international competitors in this tournament ever since its start back in the 40s. They've been dominating. They're fundamentally sound. They got a young boy. You're going to have to, watch me on these international names, but I'll do the best I can. His name is Sun Ho Shi. He's got 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's just leading that Chinese Taipei batting. And then Venezuela's got Luis Yepes, who's throwing 80 miles an hour from the 70-foot diamond pitching mound. That mound, 50 feet. I'm pretty sure it's 50 feet. It's equivalent. 80-mile-an-hour fastball Little League is equivalent to 104 major leagues. That's sick. And I think he was over 80 miles an hour on 9 pitches the other night. And then you got a young guy, Irving Indonesius, batting .545. He's really raking like crazy out there for this Venezuela team. Venezuela is who I think is going to knock Chinese Taipei off the international perch. That Venezuela team is solid. And then you got over on the international U.S. side, Texas. They've been on one more thing on Venezuela. Venezuela, since they've been playing this year, is 97-0.
Good gosh.
97-0.
That's pretty good.
Nuts. And then I look at a strong Texas team that I'm looking at on the U.S. side. They got a winning streak going too, man, but it's only 17-0. But that's the winning streak since they started this tournament. They have not lost. So, and they're a solid team. The whole top half of the lineup, 1 through 6, they all rake. I can't give you stats because I'd be here all day with this team. This team rakes.
Hey, Jack, can you give us like where we are in terms of the finals? And then let's get the comments.
That's what I'm going over right now. This is the finals. No. Chinese Taipei will face Venezuela Saturday at 12:30. Okay. That's the final for the international. The final for the U.S. is still being figured out. Texas has already clinched their spot in the final. And as I say, everybody rakes. They got a boy named Bo Orlando, big boy, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's just killing it. But so is the rest of the top of their lineup. They're just a devastating lineup. And then you got Nevada playing Florida right now. Let me see if I can get an update. We got an update on that game? It's a commercial right now, but I'll update you on that Nevada-Florida game. Nevada, they're the surprise of the tournament. I mean, they haven't scored over 3 runs but twice in this tournament, and 3 runs don't usually win, but their pitching is solid at Nevada. So you got Florida team. I saw them day one and thought they were the one from the U.S. So I thought Florida and Venezuela were the best 2 teams I've seen day one. And here they are with a couple surprises. Possibly Nevada could upset Florida. You never know, man, in the World Series. But Florida's a well-coached team. They hit well. They pitch very well. And a team from Florida has never won the College World Series. So they're hungry. So we're waiting on the finish of this 7 o'clock game. There should be somewhere. What inning we in now, hon? Okay. Who's got the hammer? Florida? Who bats last? Who's on the right? Okay. Top of 6. Florida's up, still 5-3. Nevada's got the hammer. So top of 6. They only play 6 innings in Little League ball. So we're coming down to the net grit. We're going to know who's playing in this Little League World Series final by the end of our show today. Anybody got any questions about Little League World Series?
No. Nope. Let's see the comments because we got some heavy comments. Somebody went and grabbed some Cabernet, I think.
Sounds great.
Scooter say he got his Cabernet ready. Matty Ice says Little League World Series always cool to watch. Matty Ice said, what? The Bad News Bears didn't make it? Damn it.
They're playing in the Astrodome.
Scooter said Connecticut's own Chris Drury is one of the greatest players in the Little League World Series. After he pitched Trumbull to the championship, he made an infamous appearance on David Letterman. He won the NCAA championship in hockey at BU, won the Stanley Cup in Colorado, and he's now the president and GM of the New York Rangers.
Oh, wow.
Matty Ice says, is that a bat in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? Scooter said, rock on, Jack. Now, this right here, this is what I always say. Guys throwing 80 at 12 would need Tommy John surgery by 18. When they throw at high velocity so young, it wears the arm out now. You know, you got guys trying to throw breaking balls and curves and things like that, and they trying to get that 6-12 drop. That's wearing their arm out, correct?
Well, I mean,
don't they manage?
The problem is,
don't they manage them like that? Don't they manage how many throws they throw?
Pitches, yeah, they do a pitch count.
It's a pitch count, but the other part you got to think about, these kids want to be seen. And if you want, velocity is the key now in this era of baseball. So that's why these kids are throwing the way they're throwing. They're not throwing, they're not nibbling because they want to be the next Greg Maddux. Because Greg Maddux in this era doesn't get seen and doesn't get a job. So they gotta gas. They gotta put the velocity on it. So yeah, they know it's coming down the line. It's almost like they know they gotta pay the piper.
And to answer Lee, yes, there's a pitch count. I think max is 85 pitches. And then there's certain levels of pitches you can be pulled for, and that tells you how many days you're going to be out. Right. So say you throw 30 pitches, you only got to sit out a day. You throw 50, you got to sit out 2 days. You throw 85, you got to sit out 3 days. And these coaches manage that looking forward, especially before, because this is only a double elimination tournament. You lose 2 games, you're going home. They don't go home. They stay for the whole week, of course. It's a whole week for the kids. It's amazing. They stay in dorms. It's nuts. But, yeah, they do. They manipulate the pitches looking forward to what they need. And there's some good arms left for the championships this year. Sometimes you get to your 6th, 7th pitcher, and you just get annihilated. But this year, I think the coaches did a much better job. There's a few blowouts to where they could pull their stars out, but they did a much better job, I think, managing the pitch counts for their stars, that we're going to see some good pitching this weekend. The U.S. game is 3:30 Saturday. The international game is 12:30. And then championships Sunday, 3 p.m. You've seen Little League World Series all over Sports Center. If you say you haven't, you ain't been watching Sports Center, because it's on plays of the week, plays of the day. It's web gems. These boys are just playing ball, man. I'm telling you, all the great plays I've seen, I can't count on both hands. And then tomorrow night, 7:30, ESPN, Little League World Series Home Run Derby. Get some. What's up with that? Huh?
Jack Wagner said home run. Florida just went up 6-3.
Oh, yep. I see it right now. Thanks, J-Dub.
Florida,
man.
Some say get the surgery done early. I'm not one of them.
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that surgery on young arms. And then, you got these. Always get injuries to young kids, 14 or so younger, and a doctor gonna tell you, oh, that's growth plate. Man, I think growth plate is an excuse because they don't know what's wrong. You can't keep blaming injuries on the growth plate. That's all they used to say when my daughter would come in with something, either a shoulder or a foot, while she was playing ball. I'm like, Todd, just tell me what it is. Stop with this growth plate stuff. But the kids are still growing, so I don't know. I just feel they're kind of elastic versus an older arm. But they're throwing a lot of breaking balls. One of these boys had 4 pitches. He even had a sinker. They're throwing split fingers. They're throwing 4 seams. They're throwing sliders, and a lot of them, you can see some movement. Man, it's impressive. It's very impressive. I don't teach my boys how to throw curveballs. I even get mad when their parents do. I mean, first of all, you're playing a rec ball. Let's stay in your lane. And, you need to be a little advanced to learn how to throw curveballs. You need to be a person that's been throwing the ball for a while, not just some kid that's playing 10, 12 games a year, you're going to ruin your arm that way, I think. You got to do workouts and something Nolan Ryan always preaches, long toss. I love long toss for my pitchers. Yeah, for all my ball players, it strengthens the arm naturally. The game of long toss. If anybody's not familiar with long toss, you start in your regular warm-up position, playing catch, 5 throws, take 5 steps back. 5 throws, take 5 steps back. And then eventually you start taking 5 steps in and you're warmed up. That's long toss.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's nitty-gritty right now. You know, this is a championship weekend. LLWS. I love it. You can see how amped I am. I'm telling you, I'm almost March Madness amped at this time.
And
Last
that
but not
was
least,
our edition of the Gentleman's Corner.
I appreciate it. I love it.
Sam Moore checking in. Long time no see there.
Yeah, what's up, Sam?
Jack said that's how I was taught. I was taught to throw the ball as a child, to throw a curveball.
I probably taught him how to throw a curveball.
Yeah. Now, our last topic, Jahan Dotson, first round pick of the Washington Commanders 2022, 16th overall, has been traded to in-division rivalry Philadelphia Eagles, along with the 5th round pick, and the Commanders get back a 3rd round and 2 7th rounds in the 2025 draft. Dotson first 2 years, 1,041 yards, 11 receiving touchdowns. He's also played with 3 different quarterbacks in 2 years. Let's start with Lee Ice.
Hold on, let me start.
Because
Everybody else is a Commanders fan here. Just real quick, something better be coming down the pipe to trade that boy in the division, because the Eagles are already sitting on. They just got Saquon. They already sitting on what they had weapon wise, and now you're adding him to the mix. I don't know what's in Commanders in the folder. Something better be in the folder, because like why do that? That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna step off and let the Commanders fans take this.
Well, KG, what did you say we got for him? And we gave them, what was the whole?
We gave them, it's Dotson and a 5th round pick. We got back a 3rd round and 2 7ths in next year's draft.
Okay, listen to this, fellas. I mean, we gave him a 5th. We got back a 3rd and 2 7ths. That sounds like a wash. A 3rd round and 2 7ths equals a 5th to me. It sounds like we just gave him away. There's got to be more behind this scene, man. I'd like to hear more about it, because I was expecting to see.
Is this a Jalen Rieger situation?
Did you guys hear B Mitch a couple weeks ago?
No.
So a couple weeks ago, right? So B Mitch a couple weeks ago has this rant talking about guys walking around like they're owed something, like they deserve something, like something should be given to them. And everybody speculated that it was Jahan Dotson, and B being the person he is, he didn't really try to confirm who it was. But I think people knew, like the people that are there at training camp knew exactly who he was talking about. So I think that led to what happened today. There's also the fact that I think in the Jets game, he had 32 snaps offensively. So that's another issue, because if that's just number 2 receiver, he's probably going to play half of those snaps, get out, and get on with the rest of the day. So I think there's been writings on the wall, and I know personally I try to ignore it because I didn't think that was the case. But then when I'll give my boy a shout out, Lamar Bland. I don't know if he's in the group now or not, but he sent me a message and it was like, the Dotson stuff, just don't ignore it. Don't ignore Dotson's name being bandied around. Don't ignore trades talks or anything with him, because anything's possible. What were you hearing, Lee Ice?
First off, let me say, I was a Dotson fan. Okay. 11 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. I think that might equal McLaurin, or might be one more. I'm not sure. But from what I'm hearing, my sources, it was 3 players. All of them have to be the first round draft picks. Dotson, the kid that we drafted last year, number 13. What's his name? Forbes. And 52, the linebacker. From what I hear, they went out front. They was like, "Look, we need y'all to buy into what we're selling. If you don't buy into what we're selling, your ass might be up or out of here." Apparently, Forbes has bought in, and Davis has bought in. Like you said, there was rumors someone going around pouting, and I heard that he lost his confidence. Talking about John Dotson, so. And I want Commanders fans to think about this. And you see comments, "Oh, we mess same." They've seen this guy since what? Mini camps, okay? Yeah. They've seen him every fucking day. Excuse my French. He's come to training camp. They watching him. They want him. They wanted him to take that step forward. Okay, but if he's moping from what I'm hearing and pouting, and especially if he's lost confidence, bro, you got to go. You got to go. It amazes me how so many fans are GMs that, I mean, what the fuck did we win with him? I'm sorry. I didn't know he was Deshaun Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was Tyreek Hill. What the hell are you mad at? Some of you fans out there. What the hell did we trade? It reminds me of the Kendall Fuller trade back when we got Alex Smith. People was mad because we traded Kendall Fuller, who was a damn slot corner, if I'm not mistaken. People need to really, trust. I mean, I know we've been burned for the last fucking 30 years. I get it, but this regime, this is different. This is different. I wish him well. I like the young kid. I thought he had potential, but I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust this regime and know what they're doing. I think I can't pronounce his name. I know you can. Human Google. Number 14. I think he's the main reason why Jahan is expendable.
Bryson?
I'm just gonna call him OZ.
Yeah, OZ. I think he's the main reason why. OZ. And of course, we drafted McCarthy. So
his last name Zacchaeus Jack Carter.
Okay.
He played in Philly last year. He went to the University of Virginia. Hey, big guy, you've been kind of quiet. Give me something.
Normally, I would go off right here and I would say, what in the world are we doing? Why would we trade this young puppy? We need this, we need that. You're not getting that from me today. Because here's the thing. I like what Lei said. What have we won with him? Okay? Now, if this was Terry, I'd be all, how I feel about Terry. Because I told the Midnight Rider and the boss BJ, when Terry was up for his contract, I said he's going to get top 5 money. Oh, no, he's not going to get. I gave you the number. They hit the number damn near on the head. Got to pat myself on the back for that one because I called that. But I think this is clearing the way for something else because word out of Redskins Park. I don't know what we call it now. We still calling it Redskins Park, but word out of Redskins
Command
Park.
Center.
Command. Funny.
But a couple of comments real quick over on Instagram. Pablo Duva, when you get a cancer out of the building, it is addition by subtraction. Next man up, and don't sleep on some surprise player being cut that Washington can scoop up. Big Dog said, I don't trust this regime. Look at the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia 76ers prime examples. I told y'all this last year. Over here on
That's my dog.
Sam said, been watching those simulated college football games in your channel here. Go Notre Dame, my man. Matty Ice said they had to get the sevens back since they traded one away to Cleveland for Cade York. They needed another kicker that misses kicks. That's a big circle. No.
That's the Cleveland. Cade York. There's the doghouse, and then there's the dog mansion. And Cade York was in the dog mansion in Cleveland. So he's got a strong leg. He's a good. He's a kicker, but we got to think about this. And this is what I said to somebody earlier. Cade York, yes, he's struggling as a kicker right now. But what if we're on the right side, finally, of a young kicker maturing and finding this thing? We've always given up on a kicker maybe too soon because they had a rough patch. You gave up on Hopkins. You gave up on Gano. There's plenty others that we can name that have gone on and kicked well in other places, and we're still looking for people. We
haven't had a good kicker since Chip Lowmiller, man. To put the beyond.
Let me tell you something. With kickers, sometimes it's just a change of scenery.
Exactly.
You get a change of scenery, and all of a sudden, they get the confidence back. They get relaxed, and they're hitting kicks consistently, right? Let me tell you something from experience. Y'all know I'm a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan, and I think this regime change, the cancer's out of the bill, and I hate that because but it started with Chase Young. It started with Chase Young before this regime took over, of guys not buying in, because you can't have – it's a pecking order. When you make a certain amount of money, you can't act a certain way in the building. You can't. If you're one of the main people that touch the ball offensively, whether it's basketball, and if you listen to Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes talk, they talk about that. Like, if you ain't making the money and you busting somebody's ass in practice that's making the money, you getting cut. That's why they'd be like, hey, man, chill, do this, that, and the other. So, but when you're making that type of money, when you are the second receiver, the primary receiver, you got to hold a certain standard. People are looking at you. So if that's the case, I understand it, because Buffalo went through it. You got to weed out the players that are holding the franchise down, that's weighing you down, that's not ready to, run through the brick wall for the coach and stuff. You got to get those guys out of here, or else you're going to be 5-12, 5-11. You're always going to be behind. Those guys got to go, whether they're first-round picks. I just hope that it doesn't come back to bite the Commanders in the ass, and this boy revitalizes his career in Philly, and all of a sudden they got you can't stop Saquon, and they throwing it to Dotson, and they throwing it to Brown over here, and then you like, damn, we had him. But sometimes it's just you need a scenery change, and I think you're seeing that with Chase Young. He went to San Francisco and got a kick in. Hey, that's not how we do shit here. Get your ass in practice, do this, that, and the other, and you see San Francisco ain't chase after him. So where's he at now? New Orleans?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's hanging on. He's about to be a lifelong backup. Just think of that talent.
All right,
Hey, Bob,
and I'm sorry.
You a Buffalo Bill fan. What did y'all get for Diggs? Because I think the Commanders got more for Dotson than y'all got for Diggs.
Yeah, I believe so. I think the Diggs thing was just more of.
I think that was moving money.
Yeah, moving money and getting rid of the complaining, the whining, because that he's the guy. He's one of the guys right behind 17 and 14. He is one of the faces of the franchise, and the blowing. I think for the downfall for Diggs, and I don't want to get off topic too much, was the Jets game week 1 last year where they blew up at each week 1. So I think Sean McDermott was tired of it. Big Baller Bean was tired of the GM, and once Josh Allen 17's tired of it, you're gone.
So you said something, and you struck a nerve with me, and I apologize for it striking a nerve with me. But I get tired of hearing fans complaining about losing guys. Like, I don't hear Baltimore, and maybe I'm not in Baltimore and I don't listen to Baltimore radio. But Baltimore's lost Za'Darius Thomas or Jackson, whatever his name is. They've lost Matthew Judon. Like, they lose players every year. And you know what they do? They draft their replacements, or they already have the replacement the year before. So I get tired of the argument because that's what you're supposed to lose good players because you can't afford everybody. And that's the problem this last regime had was they tried to afford everybody. They should have been off of either Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne 2 years ago, because that should have been and unfortunately for Darian Mathis didn't work out. But for Darian Mathis was supposed to be the guy, and they move on from those guys, and you get picks. You have to replenish. You can't pay everybody. I get tired of hearing people talking about, oh, they should have signed Sweat. So now you got Sweat at $22 million. You got Deron Payne at $20 million. You got Allen at $20 million. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, are we just collecting paychecks? Because now you got 3 out of 4 dudes up front that don't get you double-digit sacks, and we paying them elite money. We paying them elite money to do regular shit. And I'm sorry, I don't like seeing elite people get paid elite money to do regular shit.
Non-elite.
And injuries go along with that too. And in Buffalo, I said it on, I think last Sunday or Sunday before, Buffalo's dealing with a Matt Milano issue.
Yeah.
And the last 3 years, you're talking about a top 3. When he's healthy, he's top 3 at his position. That's not you can't shake a stick at that. But at the same time, over the last 3 years, you've been down more than you've been up. I already have to have somebody that can do what you do or can be taught into that role, or I got to be looking for somebody to come in there. That's a good GM. That's a good GM. You have to have, and sometimes you have that guy like Tom Brady, unless he, you know what I'm saying, he walk out on you unexpectedly. You're not really looking for Tom's replacement because you don't want that backup quarterback static in the NFL. Oh my God, he threw an interception, put the backup in. You know how these cities are. But other positions, like he just said with Allen and Payne and other guys, and now you got Matt Milano on Buffalo down again. They Tre'Davious White, our cornerback, he's gone. He's been hurt the last 3 years. You have to be ready to move on and replace these guys, no matter how many jerseys of them you bought. you got to put the duct tape on it and write the next name on it and move on. You have to have guys on the field that win football games and that can play 90-95% of the time. And when you start getting down to the 80 and he only available 70% of the time, you got to look for a new guy.
So I think Buffalo's only issue was the kid Elam couldn't play because I think he was the Tre'Davious White I done gave y'all the DC Ward 8 person, but whatever White's last name.
Plug for councilman.
He got hurt. Elam was supposed to be the replacement.
And I don't know what it is for him.
What's the kid 43? Is it Barnhart? Or something like that plays. Yeah. I think he's kind of like the guy that's the Milano replacement or substitute.
And then the video I showed you guys and dressing that guy, like, yeah, that's what you're looking for. Now you didn't shot up on the roster. You might make the roster, and you might be pushing something. It's the unfortunate for the fans that can't mix that. You have to have that business side in it too. You could be a super fan, but you have to understand you're trying to put a team together on the field to win games. That's the end goal.
Hey guys, let's do this real quick. Let's get everybody an opinion, and then let's hit the comments, and let's try to get out in 5 minutes so we can still send this to Hill. Go ahead, Jack.
You see me?
I saw you.
I agree with what y'all saying. An organization has to have next man up. And I think that Washington does have that in De'Ami Brown. I was counting De'Ami Brown above Dotson before Dotson was even traded. So I'm not upset at that trade. I don't think we got nothing for him. But Dotson, when he came into the league,
you got 3 draft picks. You got 3 draft picks, Jack.
And we gave up 2.
No, you gave up 1.
You gave up Dotson in the 5th. You got a 3rd and 2
You
seconds.
gave up a 5th for 3 draft picks.
Okay. It still seems like a wash to me.
For a player that's acting, moping, and pouting, and probably don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Still seems like
Commanders fans kill me, man. I'm like Doc Walker. We have been in last place for years. What the hell are y'all talking about?
I'm not mad about the
shit
trade.
with him.
KG.
So why are you crying and bitching about we traded him? When did he become Tyreek Hill? Somebody let me know.
Not saying he is. Not saying he is. I just say I don't feel that.
Saying we didn't get nothing. What the fuck are you gonna get from him? Who is he?
Worthless.
Who the fuck is he though, Jack?
A former number one pick.
Who is Jack? I was a fan of his. But really, what is he?
I don't care about the trade. I just feel like it's a wash. We didn't get shit for him. So I'm not saying he's fucking Michael Irvin. So anyway, to solve these wide receiver issues, Washington just needs to get McLaurin the ball more, period.
Okay.
Let's see if that happens. And I got an update. Little League World Series. Florida defeated Nevada 6-3 to advance to face Texas tomorrow, 3:30 p.m.
Who you got?
I got Texas. Texas and Venezuela is who I think it's going to be.
All right. Real quick.
Texas to win it all.
Scooter says his first game ever and watched him so memorable that I couldn't wait to remember the rest of his game. Since the first game, I can't remember any more games. Talking about Jahan Dotson.
That acrobatic catch he made.
Same results. Lee Ice taking a tank of gasoline and pouring it in on a California forest fire. I love it. Scooter, hey, we do it right here.
Had the whole crowd screaming, those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Who are we?
Big
Shout
up,
out to my man DJ Woody.
DJ Woody.
When you say the command center, you got to get 3 hip thrusts. Command center.
I don't do none of them new dumbass cheers. Got a goddamn Captain Tuddy.
Timothy Wagner says still drafting stupid and I love it. Can't believe we traded Josh Dotson. I don't believe it either. But, I mean,
I'm fine with it.
Cade so far makes the kicker. This is what Matty Ice said. Cade so far makes the kicker and Ace Ventura look great.
I saw somebody with a Ray Finkel jersey on the other day.
Wow.
Oh my! I meant to tell y'all that.
Look at this comment from Timothy.
Watkins being stupid.
Redskins need to trade Terry to the Steelers so he can win. Terry fine where he at.
Yeah. Steelers ain't gonna do much this year.
They ain't got no quarterback.
No quarterback.
Dan Quinn knows he can't screw up Daniels with bad apples. Let this marinate before you declare winning the trade. That's a Duval Paul said.
Duval Paul. 100%, baby.
Matty Ice said, I keep thinking someone holding up bunny ears behind KG. Yeah, it's John Stockton. He letting you know where his place is, number 2. Duval Paul said they got a ham sandwich for Diggs. I just pulled that up. It was a draft pick. I think it was a second or third.
It was fresh. It was a fresh ham sandwich. They made it as soon as it got to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Tim said Diggs is good, but a headache. Scooter says I believe I heard a report that Midnight Rider just dropped something called the mic. Scooter said I do believe I just heard a report. Oh, that was the same thing. Okay. Who the fuck is he? I need the popcorn gift. Listen to Lee and Jack. I love that. That's what Matty Ice said. And finally, Jack Wagner said McLaurin definitely needs more catches. He ain't had a quarterback since he been here. So
we'll see what Sam Howell does.
Well, Sam Howell might be your starter. And
I think we had a quarterback. We had 2 quarterbacks, and we let both of them go.
Let's get out of here, guys.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
That's about to start a whole nother hour show. So appreciate you, Lee Ice, jumping in with us.
Lee Ice.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for letting me come in. You know, anytime. I know I was right. I'm patting myself on the back, but
bullshit.
So For the Midnight Rider, the boss BJ, the gentleman Jack, Lee Ice up at the top. I'm the big guy KG. We don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here. Peace.